God's people? Leviticus 23:9-14.
God gives us many ways to help us know Him and remember who He is and how much He loves us. Because God loves His people, He gave order to their work and days, and He wrote special celebrations called feasts on their calendars that would help them remember His faithfulness in the past and remind them of His promise of a rescuer coming in the future.
The Feast of Firstfruits.
What were God's people remembering at the Feast of Firstfruits?
God's people had been slaves in Egypt before He rescued them. That means that the land they worked on wasn't theirs. The food they grew, the animals they raised, and the work they did was all for someone else. They had no home, no land of their own. In the wilderness, they still had no land to grow crops on, no harvest to take in. But soon they would be going into the land God promised for His people. Land He would give them as their very own. Land they could grow things on and raise animals on. And everything Israel was going to be given was a great and wonderful gift from God. God knew that it wouldn't take long for His people to forget that all they had received from Him was a gift. So He asked them to save a sheaf of wheat from the first grain harvest and give it back to Him as a burnt offering. If their offering was good, God would bless the whole harvest, and His people would remember every harvest that everything they had came from God.
How does the Feast of Firstfruits show God's people about a rescuer coming in the future?
A stalk of grain like wheat or barley is covered in little seeds. Seeds are planted into the ground, down in a deep, dark place. But they don't stay dry little seeds. They change and push back up out of the dark and into the light as a brand new twig of bright green, a stem that will grow into a new plant. God gave us His firstborn son, Jesus. Jesus was perfect, the best human there could possibly be. He never lied or cheated or hurt people. He loved God more than anything else and loved people more than Himself. He was the first fruit of all the people in the whole world, and like a little seed goes down into the deep darkness of the earth, Jesus went into the deep darkness of death for us. But something happened. Something changed for all time and all people. Jesus came up out of that deep darkness of death, alive and new. He became the first fruit of people to defeat sin and death. Because Jesus was a perfect first-fruit offering, God accepted Him and blessed the whole harvest, all of the people that love and follow Jesus. And we can remember that blessing, and everything else we have is because of what God has given us and what Jesus has done for us.
Thanks for watching.